I was born to a Buddhist family. My mom is a Buddhist, whilst my two big brothers are atheists, but follow that religion because of my mother. My family's background is Vietnamese, therefore Buddhism is somewhat the common religion amongst us, which we derived from our family tree. I was 15 years old at the time and living in an area that was mostly populated by Southern Asian people. Ever since I was young, I was always into religion due to my influence from my dad, who does not live with us anymore and is a strict Buddhist. Being always interested in the aspect of religion, I used to love reading books on different types of religion, but mostly Buddhism, as I was brought up in that sense. I knew that thinking this way, I was going to be a faithful, practicing Buddhist in the future. As I grew up, being around an area populated by Muslims influenced me into researching and exploring more about Islam. Having many close friends who were Muslim, we somewhat had a conversation about converting to Islam out of the blue in a random school day. Being asked to convert at that time while I was only 15, I was scared by the whole concept of conversion and immediately avoided that question because of the fact I was only a teenager living with a family of Buddhists. It would be impossible to fulfill my religion. But at times I started to think deeply about Islam and began researching a lot about converting. By the time I read so much about it, I fell in love with Islam. It was the upcoming Ramadan, and I began to feel eager about converting to Islam, but didn't have the power nor the strength to carry on fulfilling my duties as a Muslim if I converted. I attempted to try and forget this matter and said to myself, maybe when I'm older, and when I have more authority and an independent opinion, I would convert. I forced myself to try and research more about Buddhism and learn about it before making such a drastic step. In the end, after researching, all this aspect of religion made me fall into deep confusion, questioning about my life, and the most common question, who is God? I realized that just because my family is a Buddhist doesn't mean that I am a Buddhist myself. I felt that having a religion in the beginning takes a lot of commitment and submission. I realized that I was an agnostic, after all. As days passed, I felt I wasn't who I was anymore. I felt lost and unsure about my life. The question came up again between me and my friend. She even insisted that she would take me to the mosque to support me. At that time, I felt so paranoid and worried that what if my family finds out the consequences of it, or myself not being able to commit to Islam? All these problems sprouted in my head, and I started to feel that converting as such is a hassle to me. However, I started to have several dreams that were very daunting to me and made me feel fearful whenever I thought about it. I dreamt about the Day of Judgment. I remember every single detail of it, which makes me feel very scared because, knowing myself, I would not be able to remember dreams but only glimpses of it. The dream included me in it. I was somewhat near my house with some sort of feeling or determination inside my mind and heart that I needed to convert. Living next to a mosque, I found myself walking inside of it and asking the Imam if I was able to convert to Islam. However, at the back of my head, I felt that something was about to happen, somewhat dreadful that would be too late if I did not make this choice now. The Imam agreed, and the conversion process took a couple of days and different steps and actions. But things changed. The Imam told me to come back another day during the process, and I yelled towards him that time was running out and I needed to convert as soon as possible. I decided that Islam may be the right religion for me and that I should try to convert very soon. I knew that Allah was trying to tell me something, as if He Himself was leading me to this path. When the time came, I felt nervous and was worried about it. But after saying to the Shahada, I felt that I became a better person, a different person, a Muslim.